Hi, I'm Dexter Gelfand, call me Dex, and I'm here to give you another talk about therapeutic spiritual counseling and the simplicity of my approach to a counseling session, which is working magnificently. You ever find yourself looking for something, you couldn't find it in your home, and you fall into this pattern where you keep going back and forth between 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 different places, checking again, checking again. Maybe I missed it. Maybe it's in that spot. Maybe it's in this spot. And you fall into this trap. It's like being in a maze or on a treadmill, and you're just going back and forth, looking for this thing. It can be very frustrating and a big waste of time. And I learned years ago, and this really, really works. It works for me. I'm sure it'll work for you. Is instead of looking for something that you can't seem to find, let it find you. And I literally mean allow it to find you. And you're going to find that it's right here. And that is my approach to counseling. That is my approach to a session. I know a lot of you who follow me have some Scientology background, as I have had. And you know that in that realm of that approach to counseling sessions, it's very technical, and there's many, many different procedures, very specific questions followed by another very specific question to find some specific answer that, in theory at least, will lead to you accomplishing what you want to accomplish from what you're doing, to feel more comfortable, to feel secure, to feel powerful, to not be feeling anxiety or be worried or not have whatever your particular neuroses or idiosyncrasies or defense mechanism type things that hold you back and prevent you from accomplishing or just being strong and comfortable and in your own skin, in your environment, whatever your particular goals may be. Okay, and these, not just Scientology, it's a really good example, but there are many other things as well that have these theories that you've got to take somebody down a specific labyrinthian path, with specifically turn left here, turn right there, find this, find that, as opposed to what I'm doing, which is a lot more very, very more general and open questions, and this is very much like what I'm saying. Instead of looking so hard for something, let it find you. My approach is more about just tell me what you're experiencing right now, and just like close your eyes and tell me what you see. Because the things that are disturbing you or intriguing you, you don't have to really go looking for the information. It's all around you. It's encompassing you. It is so much here and now that it is on your mind that much. And take that as a clue. And this is what I mean when I say, instead of looking so hard for something, let it find you. This is an actual example from my life, okay, about like losing your keys, looking for your keys or whatever it is. This was about 5 years ago. I was doing some things outside my house by the garage, and I started saying, where did I leave my water bottle? And I fell into that trap. I usually don't do this. I know better than this. Looking in this place, looking at that place, looking in the other place. Going back to looking at this place, that place, the other place. I stopped myself and said, wait a minute, this isn't how I operate. I know better than this. And I said to myself, I'm going to just turn right around, and it's going to be right in front of me. And I literally turned around, and there was my water bottle at like right in my line of vision, at the height of my eyes. It was there right in front of me. That's how it is with counseling. That's how it is with finding what you need to find to change what you need to change and feel relief and feel strong and comfortable and big. It's just like that. And that's how my processing works. Instead of some very complicated long-winded procedures that are somehow going to magically lead somewhere where you don't see it coming. It's very much simpler than that. And my clients' rate of gain increases as they become more comfortable with working this way with me. I have several clients who themselves are practitioners, and they tend to do their own solo sessions in between our sessions. And I wouldn't tell somebody not to do that, but I think you all need to be aware that when you self-process, you're going to find whether you, well, maybe you won't recognize it, but what happens is you kind of, from time to time, or eventually will get led down a rabbit hole, because the person directing you where to look is you through the misleading filters of the material that you're trying to disabuse yourself of. So you get a lot of misdirection from yourself, so to speak. So not to say that some realizations that are meaningful and some gains can't be made that way, but you are really best served by at least alternating that with working with someone else who is not encompassed by the filters of personas and attitudes that you need to work your way out of, because they will misdirect you. Okay, I can give you an analogy for that, which is when I started playing my electric bass. And I went to a very, very accomplished and kind of famous luthier, a guy who can maintain and repair and set up stringed instruments. Very, very highly skilled. And when I first got my electric bass, I took it to him to set it up. And I said that I'm thinking that I will learn to play by watching videos. There's no shortage of videos about anything on YouTube or anywhere else, and they can be very helpful. And he very correctly told me, no, that's not where you start from. Because you have to have someone else looking at how you're holding the instrument, how you're using your hands and fingers to correct you and show you how to do it so that what you want to play will not be nearly as difficult because of the wrong finger position or instrument position. And he turned out to be so right. As a matter of fact, he did recommend someone, and we've been working together, and I'm having great fun with it. But had I not had that other set of eyes, experienced set of eyes, knowledgeable set of eyes, guiding me, showing me, I mean, I had already formed some bad habits with my fingering, which he was able to help me correct. So the same thing applies to counseling. I wouldn't say that you can't learn a lot and you can't accomplish a lot in your own, as we would say, solo sessions, but you need to, at least from time to time, go back to someone else to work with in between to correct any rabbit holes you go down from working that way. Anyway, back to my main point, which is how I work in the sessions, which is to just have you may tell me what's on your mind, what you feel is, what you're noticing is the feelings and attitudes and ideas that you're not comfortable with that are there for you. And that's the point. They are there for you. So you don't need a whole lot of technical, highly specific, scientific, somebody thought up questions. Not that there isn't some value in these things. I think of questions and I ask them and they work well. But basically, what really works best, most directly, and really changes your viewpoint and changes your life is just, what are you seeing right now? Tell me about that. Close your eyes. What do you see? Okay, that right there, that you said. Allow that to fully open up and express for you. Because those things that you're trying to fix, that you feel are always on your mind, they are always your here and now. They're here and now for you. So you don't have to do a lot of digging or put any effort into uncovering things. You merely have to be willing to relax and sit there and just sit with whatever is emerging in your mind. What you need to recognize is already here. You just need to be willing to recognize it instead of trying to resist it or do something to it. Whatever that mental material of yours is, those mechanisms, attitudes, personas, habits, what you could call unconsciously replicating mechanisms and things that generate other mechanisms, you're aware enough to initiate the process. If you're working with a counselor who says, okay, just let that emerge in your mind. be willing to be effortless and experience it. Don't try to do anything to this material. All you really need to do is allow it to express and let it be with you as here and now, and stop trying to do something to or with it. It's like if somebody was screaming and screaming and you were refusing to listen, so they screamed louder and harder because they're so desperate to have you listen. Well, that's how your spiritual compass operates. It's saying, listen to this, look at this. This is what you need to absorb. This is what you need to digest. Get past it already. Sit with it. Allow it to exhaust and express itself so we can move on from this. That's kind of how it is. And it does take a certain, I suppose, skilled, talented, experienced, for lack of a better term, guide like myself to help you to do that without misleading you down some other standardized system of subjects that you're supposed to be walked through. No, you simply need to allow what is here and now for you in your mind to walk through you unopposed and accepted. What you're trying to find is already here. Allow it to find you. I invite you to have a session or two with me, and I think you'll be very surprised at how simple and how well that works. Can't find those keys? Stop looking for the keys. The keys are right here. Allow them to be observed by you. It's right here. Those things you need to understand within yourself, they're already here. I understand why that's challenging to try and do all by yourself. But it's the essence of my approach. Don't go working at finding things. Don't go looking, searching. Yeah, we all want answers. We all want to find some specific experience or person or event that explains everything. It's really just a matter of allowing the energies, the feelings, the sensations, to be experienced and effortlessly absorbed, consumed, and digested. And when you do that, whatever you need to find out will come to you. So I invite you to have a session with me and just be pleasantly surprised at how easily it can come to you. Very simple. I hope you understand that. Please feel invited to get in touch.